Can you hear us, Heidi? I see her mic is muted. Show us a sign if you can hear us. Signs everywhere, the signs.
Is that her dog avatar?
Yeah, it's her dog. She has 4 of them.
Yay.
Hi, sorry.
Okay. All right, so call it to order at 6:32. We have no guests. We
No
have
guest
no
list.
city council liaison again.
Oh, yeah.
Does Jerry not like us anymore?
I guess not.
Do I need to list Jerry or just say nobody?
You would just say none. Or, well, yeah, you would say Jerry and then not, because he is still our liaison, as far as I know. That hasn't changed, yeah. So not present. He might call in,
He's just standing us up.
in which case we can mark him as late.
He may like jump in on Zoom later if he got stuck at work or something.
Yeah. Okay, the minutes were out late, but did everyone grab a copy on your way in? Gonna take a minute to look them over. I only changed a couple of things.
I have one potential change. Nicole, your NIC.
Yeah, my name's misspelled.
Okay.
I was gonna say that if anyone had anything else.
And how is it spelled? I'm sorry.
Just no H,
No H.
NICOLE.
Spelt my daughter's middle name with an H too, and she hates me to this day.
I'm hoping I'm not hated to this day.
I'll think about it for
It
a while
wasn't
and
a
I'll get
permanent
back to you.
name change, so.
You guys can
It's
definitely.
not
ace-
on
Yeah.
her birth
Ace the road.
certificate, so she's okay.
Hmm. I'll probably be able to forgive you eventually.
Do we have does anyone move to approve the September minutes?
I move to approve September minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Excellent. All those in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Heidi,
Aye.
great, awesome. No nays. September minutes approved. Has there been any change on the financial statement?
Yes. 180 for Nicole to for canopies from the art crawl.
Yes, that would be the new.
Oh, the
thing, was my
canopies.
reimbursement. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, well, we're still looking pretty good. I don't understand why the balance is $1,000.
Well, our income
1,666.
is 89.89.34.
And we've spent 73.
Yeah, so the remaining,
Okay. But that just seems weird because that's 3 years of spending. But it's only showing. I guess maybe there was no income. Well, we're getting low is the point.
Mhm.
That is the point. And we, the only thing this doesn't include is oh yeah, 1-page donation. Okay. I did bring in that's from the jar. So we'll have to consider it a priority at our retreat to raise some money. I know that we did request money. So I'm not exactly sure how that works because the balance from 2019 doesn't include our budget request. So,
Yeah, and you know what else is not reflected on here is the money from the art and music crawl.
the money raised,
Yeah, we had some
Yeah,
donations.
I haven't turned it yet. I'm sorry. It was, I think it's $41. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a small amount, but
okay. Okay, well, we'll have to get back on the fundraising horse.
yeah, you know, I noticed that for the Harvest Festival, they had like Comcast and a bunch of really big sponsors. So maybe, you know, when I reached out to people before, I may have gone too local, you know, like I was going to like like my favorite local businesses, you know what I mean? And so I think, you know, I might need to set my sights on more larger corporations.
Yeah, and I can show you. So I have like old. The old numbers that included. I mean, like, you know, PGE has donated and.
Right.
Reliance and, well, it's in here somewhere. I'll find it. I think that the idea of having folks sponsor events specifically is the better way to go, just because that's going to be easier than trying to get a general donation, since we're still working on our standard calendar and most folks have in their mind that we're not doing summer celebration anymore, rather than all the cool things we are doing. We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. Yeah, maybe I finally figured them out, but somewhere I have some of the old ones and I can get you copies of those so that you can see who has donated in the past. Anything else on the budget? We
Not
should
for me.
spend like $1 at least so that it's not $1,666.
Oh my God.
I mean, it is Halloween.
Yeah, it's appropriate. It's for this month.
My phone says that's my elevation at my house is 666 feet, so that's kind of cool. Explains a lot.
I would. Okay. Welcome, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry does like
Mystery
us.
man.
We thought that we were on your naughty list or something. You weren't coming around. Me?
Just saying that I was gonna be late.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, there it is. I turned off the sound because we have. Jerry's gonna be a little bit late. Okay, we are to mail and correspondence, and I have two things to mention. One, we got an email from an artist who wants to sell us a piece for Wade Creek. And Melanie is looking into like, I don't know if we can just buy it or if we have to do like, if it has to be 1% and therefore has to go through an RFP or what. It's very lovely. It's an iron heron. Like, it would be very nice along the.
Does it fall within your budget for your annual art purchase that you have?
Oh, well, we would have just spent that, I guess, on, but you know, technically that was the purchase in 2020. So, you know, I have no idea how much, because the email said something about love to be able to donate it, but my circumstances have changed.
So they didn't say how much it cost.
No. If there was, he said, I was wondering if there was any funding set aside for something outdoor at Wade Park. So, you can pass the picture around to see it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. And so, yeah, I guess that's a good, if it fits within the, I think 750 was is our max.
Budget for the city hall art. Is that what you're talking about? The
Well,
yearly-
that's the public art purchase. It doesn't have to go.
Doesn't have to be city hall.
No. So that was the top number last I heard, but I don't know if that's a real. Sculpture.
Just a silhouette.
I feel like a statue is stone.
I thought this sculpture is stone because how do you sculpt metal?
This is the.
I would just call it a sculpture. If we think about it, we'll make you edit it next month.
Call it a bird.
Heron.
Heron metal art, heron sculpture.
Heron.
Blue
Anything
heron
is fine.
sculpture.
But yeah, I think it's nice and I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it is. And it'd be like fitting, it's like a fitting
Exactly.
topic for over there, so.
Right.
It's real nice.
Heidi, I'll send you a picture since you have to, I don't want to.
Creek Park.
Yeah, Wade Creek, phase 3, I guess, if you want to be really specific, I don't know. And then the second thing was forwarded by Carl, actually. Somebody was asking whether or not we would consider funding the role of summer celebration coordinator.
Pay someone to be the summer celebration coordinator. Well, unfortunately, I do not think that's in the budget.
Not in our current budget, for sure.
Yeah.
It is, depending on when we would have that person start, we could potentially ask for it for next year's budget. If they didn't have to start getting paid until, June or whatever, May, whenever the actual budget happens, because I think the request is March or April. But it's something to consider. And it could also be something that we ask other commissions to contribute to if we decided we wanted to do that.
We're not doing summer celebration, but we're doing summer activities, summer art activities, which we specifically pick things loosely based on the previous summer celebration, things that people really liked and looked forward to. So I guess my thought is, it's nice that someone is interested, even if it is for pay, it's nice that they're asking about it. But I'm not sure how that would fall into our current planning. Then are they the art commission? Are we also doing the same things throughout the summer?
Well,
So,
the way it has worked in the past, right, is that there's a summer celebration committee.
Right.
And that is separate from the commission, and it has often been staffed by half or more arts commissioners. So
Yes.
it was very much a related entity, but separate. And so I would envision the same thing, right? Where this person would be hired as basically an event coordinator, and they would have to pull together this committee. And we could participate on the committee and we could offer funding for some things. A couple of my concerns are we couldn't find volunteers willing to do this. And so what's the guarantee that giving somebody some money is going to mean that they can find volunteers? That would be, a big concern. They can't do everything all by themselves. But I would also, it wasn't a paid position in the past. And considering that even the mayor is volunteer, I'm not sure about the optics of that. But if it were to happen, it would probably be going back to more like what it was, a weekend instead of a number of events throughout the, and it's also possible too, that if somebody did want to be a paid position, that they would be, the expectation would be a greater commitment to fundraising for it so that more or the Arts Commission could still do other things, right? In the past, the summer celebration took up most of the budget.
So
It
the
was-
Arts Commission did pay for the summer.
A lot of
celebration?
things, right? And the Arts Commission also got a lot of the money, right? There were tent fees, people bought a tent. And so there were tent fees, and then there was a percentage of the art sale, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was the major money-making event for the Arts Commission, but it also cost a lot,
And they had the art auction
right?
as part of it.
Right, and
Plus
the
the
art
people who
auction,
had paid in to have their booth there. I did it for 2 years.
right,
The real front of this is about shutting the street down.
right,
This is the whole crux of it, and I've been moving through the community for the last year or so, just saying, folks, things are moving to Wade Creek.
right,
Get into it, and it's the whole conversation started with this person because it's hurting the downtown businesses. That's
Right.
it. Celebration is gone. It's just annihilating businesses, but I can't wrap that one around. I'm down here at the
It's-
gallery all the
well,
time.
and it's 3 days out of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a hard sell for me. That
I'm
we
not a
are, that
business
we are
person.
impacting the economics of downtown Estacada.
There was
or
also
2
other
days.
things that shut the street down, like Estacada Uncorked, and so maybe they're not
Mhm.
thinking of just the one thing.
Right,
so
right. It's
everything.
all, yeah, all bundled up together. These events aren't occurring. And yeah, that is true, right? Because for 2.5 years, there weren't any or whatever. And
So the main business that had an issue with the street being shut down has changed ownership, and
Right.
that will not be a problem in the future. They will look at it as an opportunity rather than a hindrance.
cool.
Is it possible to bring said new business to the event to have like a tent and a representation up there?
Well, if it up at Wade Creek or
Yeah,
where it
if all
was,
this stuff gets moved up the hill, can we invite businesses to still be represented up there?
I'm sure you can. I don't know if that particular business would be one that could go up there because it's a brewery, so.
Right.
But
Yeah, I don't know what kind of.
but it's gonna be a restaurant too.
Beer garden.
Yeah.
Beer garden requirements there are.
and they,
Oh, at-
Right, right.
you
If,
get, like, temporary-
right. So,
the other thing that I wanted to say was, I don't know that the Arts Commission can have an employee. I think it would be a
Well,
city
yeah,
employee.
right.
So it's probably something, just float the idea past Melanie.
Right. Well, and before we got to that, I wanted to see how we felt about it just generally. I mean, it becomes potentially a slippery slope too, right? If the coordinator's paid, then are some of the people who help going to want to be paid? And then, where do we,
Mhm.
at what point does it, if some big event outfit wanted to swoop in and
Make a big.
make it happen, then, I'm sure we'd be down for that. And so this is kind of like a halfway there, creating that business to swoop in. And so, I don't know if that's an appropriate thing to do or not, or to just say, because there is nothing stopping an individual. When I spoke with the folks at RAC, Regional Arts Area Arts, whatever it is, the people with all the money, for arts funding. I was asking about if community members could write grants for some of these events, if it had to be a commissioner, and anybody can write
Mhm.
a grant. And so there's nothing stopping somebody from applying for a RAC grant to be the events coordinator and getting funding to do it and writing up a budget and doing all that and, making that happen without any input from us and writing into the grant that some of that money is pay.
The part of it is about the advertisement of summer celebration that didn't let anybody know that it wasn't ever gonna happen again. This is the conversation that
And we've never, ever said it wasn't ever gonna happen again.
it's just, everybody thinks it's
Right.
gone, but it's not, probably not gonna be down here.
That's, I mean, again, Wade
So-
Creek, by moving things to Wade Creek, we do away with the whole holdup of shutting down the streets.
And it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be phenomenal for,
It's an excellent venue.
Right.
it's all there and it's ready to go, and some people are not happy about it because it's not happening down here and closing streets down.
Right.
That's just
Well,
kind
you know, there's nothing to stop the downtown,
Mhm.
the downtown commission from having an event that is like a First Friday type of thing, right? Where, you know, there's going to be something going on until dark. Have everybody stay open afterwards, so people have somewhere to go. I mean,
The other-
I mean, like,
there's
the
lots
Arts
of ways.
Commission did not take away summer celebration, like
Right, right.
COVID made it
Yeah,
so that.
that's,
it
we are
can't
never gonna win
happen.
that. We are never gonna
So,
win that,
you
because
know.
even the people who organized summer celebration tell people that Arts Commission shut summer celebration down. So we are never going to win that. ever.
Yeah, I mean, but that's an important distinction. you
It
know,
is.
Like
I
it was COVID, you know,
Yes.
and now like we have a lot of new commissioners. We're trying to get things
Mm-hmm.
situated, you know. Dart and Music Crawl was like a fairly big event for us.
It
For
was
brand new
awesome.
commissioners.
I thought it was great.
So, you know, like we're doing our best,
Right.
but it's not going to be 2018, 2019 Arts Commission because we're new members on the commission.
Yeah,
And don't set ourselves up
You know?
like that again with a whole bunch of arts commissioners diving in because they're gonna think the arts commission's.
right, right.
Yeah.
We'll
But
just have
it's-
to have clearer boundaries. But yeah, I mean, I think that, I think that it would be, there's no reason we can't encourage somebody
Mhm.
from having the energy and trying to make that happen. I don't know that it's appropriate for the Arts Commission or the city to fund that role.
They could be on the Arts Commission, the person, they could.
Oh, yeah, they
apply,
could absolutely be an Arts
You know, and like
Commissioner.
see if they can drum
Um,
up some resources, some energy, you know?
Yeah, that would be one thing.
Like-
But yeah, again, to also just say, you know, write up a rack, the rack deadlines, there's a couple of different grants. One of them is a rolling grant every month. It's smaller, but you know, and say, yeah, if you want to write a grant to become the events coordinator, we can certainly help you with some details for your proposal, with some estimates from previous year's expenses. And, you know, we can certainly commit to paying for certain things that we have in the past as far as the event itself goes. But I haven't seen anything in the last few years of budget that I have seen where, you know, we paid anyone other than artists or musicians, you know, for a single event, but where we paid anyone a salary of any kind or so it feels like, Jerry, to your point, like that just is a lot more red tape. They'd have to be a city employee. Well, then if the city is deciding, then yeah, it's not even up to us. But we can help someone make it happen if they want to do that. If
It's
they
the-
want to write a grant to get themselves paid.
Communication of it's the
Be
other
it-
part of it, the World Web, all that. That
Right.
was another part of it, a launch vehicle, because most people don't have that if they apply for something. And if they're not a contractor that's doing this all the
Right.
time, but there's a huge new population of people here that somebody may bite on it, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think that whoever is going to be doing an event like that is going to have a better, you know, in the past, I think they put out a newspaper.
Mhm.
And I mean, there were the avenues that there was Pamplin, there was the water bill, there was this newspaper. And I think there's gonna have to be a little more, just like there is for the Arts Commission, more social media savvy strategy.
Just getting the word out that there might be even floating it out there without even officially naming amount of money. Would it be possible for us to put out any sort of an announcement that,
No, because
Mm.
because this would be a situation where somebody would have to, of their own volition,
Yeah.
right, apply
Okay.
for a RAC grant and basically be their own rainmaker, right? Where, because for example, if I was not an arts commissioner, but I still wanted to do One Page Wednesday, I could write a RAC grant and say, I wanted not One Page Wednesday. Don't write down One Page Wednesday, One Page Estacada. I would write a grant saying, you know, we're gonna bring in 12 writers over the course of the year. It's gonna cost this much money to pay them. And the Arts Commission has committed to 50% funding. And that's through the city and it's established. And that's why you, RAC organization, can trust me that if you give me some money, it's really gonna happen. And I can do that as just a regular citizen with no title myself. And so there isn't any reason why somebody couldn't try. Now, that doesn't mean that that RAC is going to think it's okay to pay someone to do this either, because RAC has several years worth of summer celebration grant requests. And could easily be like, well, nobody's been paid before. I don't know how it works over there. You know, they, when I spoke with them on the phone, one of the organizers was like, we're so sad. We haven't seen your $7,000 request, you know, the past couple of years. Like they know about summer celebration. So I think that I'm absolutely willing to be vetoed on this, but I don't know that it's our place to say to the community, like, somebody out there needs to write a grant to get themselves paid to do the summer celebration.
Well, you put a bug in their ear. You don't have to be a member here to, and I'm just trying
Yeah,
to,
I
I'm just
think
trying
that-
to sew up the wound. is
Right,
what I'm
right.
trying to do.
Sure,
That's-
and I think that
that's
we
all
can,
I'm trying to do.
right, and I think that, you know, I mean, we could certainly, we can tell anybody that. I just don't know that we should officially, I don't think
No.
I don't think that's an official communication from the Arts Commission.
A suggestion. Yeah.
It wasn't put on by the Arts Commission. That's why this is so weird. There was a separate committee that would form just called the Summer Celebration Committee, and it had its own committee members that were not part of the City of Estacada commissions. Well, they were mostly arts commissioners, but by making it separate, they could do all kinds of, you know, they could, it was easier, first of all, because the Arts Commission couldn't do everything on their own. And this, the person who organized it in the past, Jane Reed, was previously the arts chair. I don't know how many years she was chair while she was organizing summer celebration, but sometimes she was and sometimes she wasn't. And so they just had, you know, they had folks on the committee and they were all assigned different stuff, and Arts Commission gave a lot of money and got a lot of money, but Arts Commission wasn't the organizing entity.
And Carl, you served at that time too. I mean,
Mhm.
you're.
Well, I was there for
familiar
a
with
couple
what
of
was
years
going
and
on.
watched it. There was
Yeah.
15 people in the room here. I mean, it was a busy scene. It worked, but
It was the big Arts Commission event. I mean, it was, and, you know, it was 2 days, which to me was kind of a bummer when I found that out. Because I was like, we exist the whole year for, I mean, it started out as 3 days and then it was down to a day and a half at one point, you know, like that's the whole, and I thought, you know, doing a bunch of smaller things
Mhm.
would be more interesting, but you know,
Well, the monetary system changed and the faces in the city and
Yep.
everywhere changed in the last 5 years. It's eclipsed totally.
One thing you could do, if there's, is just to gauge the interest in the community, is you could do a social media blast, you know, saying, calling all volunteers, you know, looking for an event team. You know, maybe not mention specifics like summer celebration, just looking for volunteers to, you know, coordinate or to help with an event team. You know, I mean, just to gauge interest and to just set it as a, you know, set a day where everybody comes down here, they, you know, it's informal, like a, you know, open house type thing. Talk it out, try to get people to sign up to be volunteers that way. And you might be able to put together a, you know, like I said, that event team that could be your summer celebration committee.
Well, and that does, I mean, but that also begs the question of whether or not we want to go back to a summer celebration or whether we want to continue to try to have multiple events throughout the summer. Instead of one thing, right? Because that was a weekend where there was music, the streets were shut down, there was an art auction, there were a bunch of artists with tents, there were a bunch of food vendors would come, because I was getting emails like, I have a corn dog truck and I'm in Georgia. Do you need me in 3 months in Oregon? Like, I'm pretty sure no.
I mean.
It was a
I
thing.
can kind of see the appeal of having a consolidated.
Yep.
Seasonal
Yep.
event like that, because makes a bigger splash in a
Mhm.
small town, you know what I mean? So.
It was a big draw, you know, it really was a big draw, because it wasn't just the Estacada community, it was people
Right.
from all over coming out for that.
Right.
Kinda
You know,
like
and
Sandy Mountain Days or.
yeah, and
something
you
like
can
that.
still have the smaller events, you know, like the chalk walk doesn't have to be part of summer celebration.
Right.
The, you know, that type of thing. And just one of the big draws, you know, I know that I had friends come in from out of town with their children because there were things for the kids to do, you know, making soap, making a birdhouse, you know, stuff
Mhm.
like that, the
Right.
paper plate art. You know, there was stuff for them to do, and that was a big draw, you know, something that they can bring, they can come out to Estacada and bring their kids to.
Yeah, and it's possible if it were to move to Wade Creek, it could be something that is more equally shared between Parks and Arts Commission. Again, the benefit of an external committee is that they can draw people and resources from all over.
Is there a finish date or like a kickoff event to sort of open the new phase 3? Or is it
Of
just
Wade
sort of,
Creek.
is it just sort of done when it's done and then use it?
I'm sure there will be something. I mean, we had a ribbon cutting for the new track when it was, you know, when it was finished. We had, there was a ribbon
There's just
cutting.
not a set date yet, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there will be something. We've spent so much time and money on this that it's going to be a big deal. But I'm just not sure what has been planned for that.
Thanks for kicking this around. This is-
Yeah,
this
yeah,
helped
yeah.
me out.
No, I think, well, and I think that again, like, I personally have reservations about paying someone to do something that, volunteers have done for years, just on principle, but that doesn't mean that that's the right way to think about it. I totally acknowledge.
Somebody
that.
that can say yes and no.
Right.
It's a
Right.
lot.
And, and again, maybe it does become a kind of if we do a better job of making it a separate thing, then the summer celebration committee can work itself out however it needs to. If somebody's writing a grant to get themselves paid to run that thing, then by all means, right? And get all kinds of help from different commissions. And if, the loss of it in terms of fundraising was a big deal, right? Because we're at $1,600. The numbers were pretty high on the previous years when you could see the summer celebration. I mean, both in and out. The numbers were much higher than numbers we're used to.
But it takes a lot of work to get those
Right.
numbers.
Exactly.
It
So, I
does.
mean, I recognize that. But maybe we think some more about it and talk about it at our retreat. About how we might want to, we've also got What's Up Estacada coming up, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that could be an opportunity to, make a sign that says we're looking for an event team. The not just Arts Commission, but Arts Commission is willing to jump in and start. But an event team is what we need. We're getting bigger, and so our events should be getting bigger. And so who wants to help make them happen? Something like that, right? But yeah, we can certainly talk some more about it and figure out what kind of options there are, how it might work. I think that while it wasn't run by the Arts Commission, again, arts commissioners did play a major role. So I think we can come up with some ideas. There's you know, and see if there are people that can help realize them. But yeah, I mean, let that person know, Carl, that write a RAC grant. Because the thing is, if the grant is accepted, well, there's your pay. And if it isn't, we know, okay, well, we're gonna have to figure out a different way if we want to make this happen, right? I mean, that's, and, you know, again, we have a lot of historical data, so we could certainly help with the other estimated costs.
The line items when you do a
Yeah.
proposal grant. it's
Yeah,
Gotta have,
right. And, you know, and I don't know. And RAC has a whole bunch of different grants. And so some of them may permit, they don't call it salary, but, compensation, yeah, stipend. Some of them include that and some of them say that that can't be included. And so, you know, it would also depend on the requirements of the grants. But yeah, it's not the worst idea, for sure. I just don't know if it's our idea to approve or deny.
we just can't wear the saddle. I mean, it's just, that's a big
Yeah.
go.
I mean, people
The
burned
old
out,
days.
people burned out on that project. And so I don't, you know, I'm not super excited about signing up any arts commissioners for
Anything
it
we do. it
because I
doesn't-
don't want anyone to leave.
Just like anything you do though, is a different animal now. It's totally different than 5 years ago.
Right.
It's real different. A whole different hierarchy that you have to go through and
We got 5,000 people in town now.
well, there's more than that, but.
Well, I just mean on the sign. The sign said 3,000 before
Yeah.
COVID. Now it says 5,000. That's huge. Okay. You want to move on to current events or any more on the correspondence? We actually had kind of interesting correspondence this time, so that's exciting. What's the update on the coloring contest? Because it's coming up.
And this month went by really, really
I
fast.
I was literally this morning, I was like, did I just turn the age where I'm like, whew, the weeks are just, whew, how is it Wednesday again? Yep.
Mike, did you have any, you said you were gonna talk to your son about drawing something?
Yeah, I don't have anything put together, but I really can do that like quickly. Of a scarecrow or Halloween themed.
Non-denominationally, fall themed,
Yeah, so that's where we're thinking scarecrow with like,
non.
yeah, we don't, we don't,
Right, just not
you know.
Halloween.
we don't want the non-Halloween people to be upset.
It has to be Halloween-esque.
So like a scarecrow with like,
Fall,
Yeah,
right?
with
bats.
Not Halloween though. Like it shouldn't say Halloween because some people don't celebrate Halloween. you know.
just
Right.
fall.
Scarecrow, bats.
I'm not gonna even bring my own personal questions into that.
No, but you and I can discuss
Right.
once we close the meeting, because.
Once the mics are off,
I think that.
But I was
yeah,
thinking like a
think that
scarecrow with,
Making
you
it
know,
as accessible as possible is a great idea.
Jack-o'-lanterns, scarecrows,
Yeah.
bats,
Yeah.
anything is really
Pumpkins.
fine.
Should it
you
just be
know.
kind of a mosaic of spooky themed around the logger, or should the logger be recharacterized?
I think that the logger as a scarecrow is cool, but.
and that's what I was thinking, the logger as a scarecrow,
Mhm.
and then, you know, like those, I can't even think, I'm having a brain fade, you know, the
Boards.
corn on the cob
Oh,
things.
yeah, a corn maze.
Yeah,
Yeah, like if the logger
Some
was
stalks
dropped
of
into a
corn.
little cornfield with some pumpkins and maybe
Yes,
some
so-
bats flying past a moon. Those are easy things to color.
No witches though, right?
No
Way
witches,
out there.
no witches and no ghosts, I think.
Goblin.
No pentagrams or?
No,
no,
No.
but you can totally draw that and give it to the rest of us.
we'll color it, we'll color it. Okay, so do we want to put a deadline on that? Because we have down here that the coloring contest is going to run 10/24 to 11/7. And the thing is that it will only take a
And
couple of days
it's
for
a
them to print
competition.
off, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's something to talk through. We do have old coloring contest sheets. I can email those to you so that you get all the other stuff. All the fine print, no purchase necessary, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, we have the one from the last coloring
Yeah.
contest. Let me put a note in here to check in with you. What is today, Wednesday?
It's the fifth. The competition starts on the 24th. It needs to be in local businesses and or available to.
On the 24th, yeah, I would say on the 24th, it needs to be handed out.
Which is what day of the
We made up the deadline. I mean, we made up the weeks
Well,
too, and
deadlines,
it's, no, me too, but I'm just saying if we decide that it needs to be different, we are empowered to make that decision if we want it to run. But it's currently scheduled for 10/24 to 11/7. I don't think we ever got to the details of how prizes were going to be given away or whatever. I know that we budgeted an amount for it, which I could look up. It was probably $300.
Yeah,
2 or
I don't, I was
300.
thinking about that earlier today. Are we gonna give prizes to did we give prizes to everybody last time?
Last time we did not give prizes to everyone, no. But what we ran into, that was a challenge, was we gave out so many prizes that then it was like awkward who didn't get a prize. So, which I mean, like we wanted to, give as many people as possible, right? But we had enough participants, which was wonderful, that we couldn't give everyone a prize, right? So then it turned into like I felt weird about it. No one said anything, but I felt like it was more like we did not give 10 people a prize, right?
Right.
So my suggestion for this time would be that we do like a lot fewer, larger prizes with the budgeted money.
And you have the option too of doing a drawing instead of
Yes, or
first,
drawing-
second place,
Yeah.
right? First place, second place, third place. You do a drawing from the prizes or from the sheets turned in. And then it's, then you don't have the same issue that you were talking about where 2 kids in a household of 3
Right, like
win and the
then
third one doesn't.
one sibling like didn't get it or
Right.
whatever. Or we could say like Parks and Rec did was one of theirs. They said, first, say 50 turned in sheets,
Right,
get a $5 gift card to Yo Treats or Boba Blastic or whatever it might be. So that's also something, but the like drawing so many or whatever, it was awkward. So we
right.
need to do it slightly different this time, I think.
And having judged in the very first one, the judging was super fun. So I'm not saying we need to get away from judging because it was really fun to lay them all out and
Ugh.
talk through.
That sounds like a nightmare. I do not want to judge wonderful children's artwork. You know what I mean?
I like the drawing idea.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you
drawing is
do it like,
I did by
like
age group.
yeah, that's what I was
Draw
gonna
next
say.
year's
Yeah.
design.
What?
I really
They
wanted
can
it to
draw
be
next
whoever
year's
won.
design.
We would actually put the costume on the logger, but that turned out to be logistically ridiculous, so.
Well, I mean, who's gonna make the costume?
Well, right, and also like, how do we physically,
Yeah.
how do you dress?
Right, yeah, who's gonna make like a
Spray
giant
painted on
thing?
it.
Oh, man. You're
Yeah.
So, yeah,
dancing
it
with the
could be,
devil
it
over
could
there,
be
like,
a
spray
few,
the log.
I do think,
Dance with the devil often.
I do think
my
age
favorite
groups are
partner.
good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
and
age
then,
groups
you
keep it,
know,
like,
so
kinda
maybe it's
fair
like
even.
first and second place in different age groups, and that way it could be a slightly bigger prize. And maybe it
Not-
could be more of like an assembled prize, like you get some you get a Yo Treats gift certificate, you get an Art Smith
Right.
gift certificate, you get a, whatever,
A bag of
a bag of goodies.
goodies.
Fall candy, non-denominational fall candy.
Is it denominational candy?
Well, I'm just saying. It-
I want to see denominational candy.
Well, I mean, what about the Easter egg shaped Reese's peanut butter
Isn't
cups?
everybody
They
like-
get a cornucopia
But an
full of
egg
fruit.
isn't really denominational.
But an
I mean,
Easter egg
it comes
is.
from a chicken.
Not a peanut butter cup. shaped egg. I like to see that chicken.
Mike's
Okay,
got some
okay,
in his
okay.
house.
Still being recorded.
Next,
That's okay.
Dia de los Muertos. We are, I mean, I have it on here because it hasn't happened yet, but we're still having a table, a craft table yet. Yes, Arts Commission is doing a craft.
Need to.
We don't need to?
You don't.
Well,
That is not the correct date though, is it? Was
That
it gonna be
is
the
not
29th,
correct date.
30th,
It
right?
is
One of those
the
days.
29th.
Yeah.
oh, you know what?
Uh,
That was fixed on one of these and then not on this one, so that's weird.
Saturday,
Saturday,
October
10/29.
12 to 2:30, so that there's time for people to go to the
For the
trick or
fun
treat
run.
after. And then
Mhm.
there's some other event in the evening too, apparently. Yeah, it's a really busy day. Ant Farms, Nueva Futura is gonna be doing candy goodie bags, and they'll
Nice.
have Elena from Oregon State Extension, who will do the smoothie bike, which if you've never seen it, it's so awesome.
You ride a bike and make a smoothie?
Make the kids ride the bike and make
Well,
the
yeah,
smoothie.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's great.
Of course,
Um,
that's, I need some.
And then we'll
too.
have sugar skulls and paper flowers, and Todos Juntos is gonna have resource table. And I don't even know if we're gonna do another craft or not. And
Okay.
Michael, you had said
Oh,
you
music.
could do an awesome playlist for
Yeah,
us, and that would be
playlist.
great. Yeah,
Okay,
so
that can
for
be our
this year,
contribution
Okay,
and the,
Pretty
and the
simple.
face painter?
and
right?
the face painter,
Okay.
which I did not get back into my email to check the price on that, but maybe less than
Then the other one.
the other one, definitely.
Does that mean we could get two?
I don't know.
Okay,
if we
yeah,
need
that's
to.
fine.
Yeah.
what were those two previous contributors you were talking about?
Ant Farm.
Yep.
And Todos Juntos.
And I sent you an email with a DJ.
So
And
I
we're
just,
paying for
I just forwarded
all
it.
or part of
I
the
just
face
want to make sure
painter,
you got
correct?
it.
All of the face. paint.
Okay,
Hmm?
great.
Yeah.
I know. It was a community member who wanted to
For the
volunteer their
bathroom.
services if it was ever needed. Because yes, it would be, I think it'd be great if you DJ'd at the event. Because then the Arts Commission is being more actively involved. But
Is
you know,
there-
you might be busy sometimes.
Is there any way that we can get the graphic updated to have the Arts Commission listed on it because we are sponsoring stuff?
Yes, if you can, do we have anything that will work as a logo?
Even if it just is our name. I mean, I haven't worked on anything, but
Okay,
There is a thing that can be used as a logo.
I will make sure that happens.
That is the only way I will describe it. And I will say that it was probably really great before it had to be digitally represented. Because it's just like it's not vector, so you can't change the size without it becoming totally pixelated and strange. And it's it has a lot of small bits of color. So one of the things I was hoping to do was to put money aside to pay a designer to design us a real logo. But yes, there is something that can be used. I will try to find it.
and can you send that to me too and see if I can? work
Yes.
on it? Cool.
Yes. I think there's actually two versions. And so, yeah, I will,
And you still want help with the frosting for the sugar skulls, correct? Okay, great. Yeah, so I'll get in touch with you.
okay, great. So I just want to make sure that I'm making notes of everything that we are, all the ways in which we are participating so that when giving updates, I'm accurately representing our engagement. What's up, Estacada? So, an email went out asking for applications for 1 or 2 tables. And the applications are needed by 11/8.
Isn't it during the daytime, like 11 o'clock in the morning or something?
No, I think it's at 5.
Yeah, if you like say 5 to
I
7.
thought I looked at that email and it had a weird time.
It is now 7:30 AM to 9. Is that
What?
correct for What's Up Estacada?
That can't be right.
Oh, really?
It
Oh, I
had
missed
some weird
that.
time in it because I remember thinking, oh, it's my turn. Then I
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at the time and I'm like,
Tuesday, 7:30 to 9 AM.
Yeah.
Who is going to come to that?
Yeah, so I mean, I
Not it.
couldn't do that. I can't do that,
I don't even come to
mean-
work. It's.
right?
Nose goes.
And I could be after I drop the kids off at school with my toddler, but I mean,
November
could be a while.
15th, Tuesday, November 15th from 7:30 to 9 a.m.
oh my goodness. Do you think there's any chance that's a typo or something? An old like email, that maybe didn't get
7:30,
updated
wouldn't
perhaps?
it be like, I mean, because 7:30 to 9 p.m., although it says pastry, coffee and pastries will be provided. That sounds like breakfast.
Huh. I want, like, I guess I don't really understand who the audience is for that.
Well, me neither. And so that was when I came to the last one, it was very confusing.
Yeah.
Everybody was really surprised, but everyone kept saying, oh, why are you here?
Right, and I was confused why they, why you were like, well, I left, and I was like, what? You're like, I don't think I was supposed to be there, and I was like, but like, Deborah and I were there, like,
Well, and as I said, the setups were,
it's a new thing, it's like still getting,
Right. There
rolling,
were,
so.
people had like displays and, flyers, and they had whole presentations. And so, I think Sadie was there still, and I was like, were we supposed to have a table? And she was like, we could find you a table. Do you want a table? I was like, no, because I don't have any stuff, and there's all this other. Nobody would believe that I was actually there to talk to community members. So,
Okay.
I presume that is why we got the Arts Commission is welcome to conduct public outreach at this event. We can provide 1 to 2 tables per group. Please use the form here to request tables for your group no later than November 8th. Guess we'll confirm that time. I mean, I could not do this on a Tuesday. Could anyone do this on a Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning?
I would be late with a toddler.
Yeah, I
so-
get back from dropping off at like 15.
I mean,
And
I
my
start work
daughter
at
would
8. I
tear things up. It'd be interesting,
I
but
come just to see that.
she's a wild thing.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. I'm sure that my brain just saw PM because again, I don't see.
I just thought it was the
7:30.
same
Because I
time as
remember
before.
thinking, oh, it's my turn. But then I looked at the time, I'm like, I gotta work, what?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll confirm the time, and if it really is 7:30 to 9 a.m., then
Probably won't be able to.
then we probably won't, but I will double check.
Okay.
Cause yeah, who's gonna come? I mean, people
Well,
are
I
at
mean, and I'm
work.
thinking the city councilors, right? Like they would also come, but I mean, like,
But-
you guys are all volunteers,
I
you're at
have to
work.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
who wouldn't-
City
who doesn't
councilors
have
aren't
to-
even coming.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's volunteers,
Confusing.
so people are generally at work.
Okay. 1 page, not happening next week, taking October off. I did confirm the 2, the second reader in December is Carmen Bernier Grand, writer originally from Puerto Rico. And she has had one of her kids has read in Spanish, one of the Spanish translations of her books at events, so something worth considering. Bernier Grand. And she'll be with Roseanne Perry. And in December. And then November is the Poet Laureate, Kim Stafford, and Oregon Book Award winner, Justin, I always want to say Justin Hawking. And so, can somebody tell me the name of the person who's at Pamplin, who was at Pamplin and then left, but is now back at Pamplin?
Emily Lindstrom.
Because I think I have an old email and I'll try her again, because I would really like to advertise both of these better. That's the plan there.
Who else is featured?
Oh, Roseanne Perry, and it's Rosanne. There's no E. I really want there to be an E in the middle, and there's not. PA. Mhm. And in November, it's Kim Stafford.
This isn't all for November, since there's not one in October.
Right, there's not, no, those second two are December. The ones that, the two that you just wrote down are for December.
Chelsea, Brittany Allen is the associate editor, and it's, her email is ballen@sandypost.com.
Great.
How did
Um,
September's one page go? Cause like I emailed all the schools, even the summit. No,
We had 3 readers from the community. One was an adult who I think was surprised that it was mostly kids stuff, but he got up and read his piece. And then, and Jean Larson's daughter read, and like a 15-year-old read. It was great. I mean, you know, I thought it was cool. Jean's daughter, going by Autumn, is her nom de plume. Autumn apparently reported that it was an amazing event. I thought that both of the readers were really incredible. Waka and Michelle they both just read really great stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was a small, it would have been cool to be a bigger.
yeah, I emailed all of the schools, the principals and the vice principals and summit, and
I
the
don't know what to
principal
do.
from the middle schools bounced, but none of them responded.
I don't know what the magic thing is, 'cause I feel like when we do an event or whatever, we try so hard to like just blast people with it, like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. And then it's always still people like, what's this? Or I didn't know this was happening.
I
Why
mean,
didn't you tell me
right, the
one?"
kids that
It's like,
show
"Dang it,
up,
how do we do it?
the kids that show up love it. And so I just feel like if more knew, then they would want to come and enjoy it. I mean, I think that the kids' events have done better generally than the adults' events, unfortunately. But, and of course, the kids' ones are harder to find writers for, but whatever. It's just a drag. It's a drag that more people don't know. But yeah, I don't know what the trick is. I think part of the problem is that, everybody is constantly barraged with do this thing, and it's just noise. So, I don't know.
Do they still have like physical book fairs at schools?
I believe the younger grades do.
No,
Like
nothing
the
for like,
Scholastic catalog. where
yeah,
you
nothing for
circle
like
the-
middle school or high school though?
Not to my knowledge, but
Okay.
my kids probably wouldn't know.
Kim
Yeah,
Stafford.
well, I was just thinking, maybe if the, Arts Commission put up, could do it like a table at events that the school does, and I don't know why book fair was the first thing that came to my brain, but if there was an event that the schools would let the Arts Commission go in and set up a table, just inviting the kids to read and to write their stories and read,
Mhm.
maybe have something on paper and say, these are the dates that we're gonna, hold events for these ages, and these are the days we're gonna have events for adult theme,
Mhm.
not adult theme. That was wrong.
Yeah, I know, it's very hard. Because I kept saying like, it's not an adult reading, that's not right.
Yeah.
It's a grown-up reading, also sounds kind of weird, but regular reading, also terrible. There's no way to.
And
Yeah.
then, I don't know, maybe somebody can talk to Tammy Yeager, I think is her name, that sends out all the parent square stuff, the emails, and because I never see anything on them, so how do we get them to blast?
Right.
Well, I think that actually engaging the youth of Estacada, like being there, showing up, being somebody that they can come and chat with, and
Mhm.
because a lot of the stuff that, it might be different now, but I know a lot of the stuff that I got when my kids were going through school. I glanced over it and then forgot about it,
Right.
but we were also involved in the schools a lot, but just something, just engage with the kids, try to be there and present.
Mhm.
you know?
But I can't think of anything like that other than like open house or something, which has already happened for this year.
Well, they do, I know they do like events around the holidays. Like I know Clackamas River did they did a big thing where there was like a cakewalk, in different classrooms, and there were different events in classrooms and stuff, you know,
Oh,
but
you're talking about during the day.
yeah, during the day.
I thought you were talking about like some, like.
No,
open
no,
house with
no, no,
parents and everybody
this
was
isn't
there.
during the day. This event was after school hours where they, you know, they had different events in different classrooms. You just go through and like a cakewalk, you know, a fishing game that
Eagle
they could
Creek
play.
used to have something, I forget what it was called, every year around Halloween.
Yeah.
That sounds like what you're describing.
Clackamas River did it for a while too. But
I don't know if it, I don't remember it migrating to Rivermill when they closed Eagle Creek. That's why I forgot about it till you kept talking about it.
yeah, again, faces change and you know, kids grow up and those parents are no longer involved, so things change. So.
You know, it took a lot of work to get, remember Reva, she started the mural over here. And she went and we had to do meetings, they had to chase to the high school, we had 4 sets of meetings just to go over there and get the kids enthused.
Yeah.
Physically go there and talk for an hour. Get the fire lit underneath them. It really worked. It really did, but you have to concentrate. It's,
Right.
Reva did a lot of work to get that mural going, to get all those kids to come.
Well, and again, depending on what we talk through at the retreat, right, we may be doing fewer literary events. And so maybe we split the, you know, if it's something that happens quarterly, maybe half of them are for family nights and half of them are something else. Not family. It's just no way to say it. That doesn't sound weird.
It's just a tricky
Adult night.
thing, just trying to
Graphic night.
engage, you know,
Adult
trying to engage the community with, you know, with that stuff. I mean, we're struggling with it on council too, you know, getting engagement, getting people to participate in the survey. So we have an accurate representation of Estacada.
Everybody wants stuff to happen. Nobody wants to make stuff happen.
Yeah, but I think the thing that we really need to get back into after COVID is, you know, get more in-person stuff, more, you know, like I said, personal engagement, being present, you know.
Well, I mean, not to, that was the point of One Page, to have it every single month where writers could come and hang out and meet one another in local writers, right? Was the intention. And the last one was the first time 2 people showed up from a Sandy writing group. And they were like, this is amazing. When's the next one? I'm like, well, there's one more in November. I don't know how we were supposed to find you, that we failed.
Well, one thing that's very difficult that we struggle with as far as like reaching people is like Heidi spends so much time doing things for social media.
Right.
She's sharing, she's posting. I mean, she spends a lot of time like creating all these posts and stuff.
We appreciate her for that.
Yes, we sure do.
But the way that we have to use social media is that we have to send it to the city.
Right.
And they post it.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's how it is, right? And Elena and like Mara, I think, does it a lot
Mhm.
too. They're super nice, so it's no criticism to them, but we can't engage like that. We
Right.
can't engage with other people. If someone leaves a comment, we can't act as the art commission and say, you know, hey, yeah, you'll love this, blah, 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 and get it in people's feeds.
I think that you can engage as an arts commissioner.
On your
But we
private,
don't get notified. We
Hmm?
don't.
we can't interact as the Arts Commission page. We have
Oh,
to.
you're right.
Well,
You would have to act as yourself, but you could
Yes.
say, I'm an arts commissioner.
Yeah, but it's just not, we know, we don't get notified. We can't answer the messenger. So
Oh,
we're very
right, yeah, yeah.
stunted.
Well, and I was thinking
With
about
the
that I
social
really
media.
wanted Linktree. If anyone uses Instagram or Twitter, you can create a Linktree where it's like a single link on your profile and it opens up a whole bunch of links. And they now have a way for you to put book recommendations in there. And I was like, man, it's too bad we don't have an Arts Commission Instagram, because we could put books from all of the readers who have been featured at One Page in a link tree so that people could easily go and buy their books. That'd be cool.
Which we could have an Instagram, but we cannot have it. A city staff person has to do it and they have
Right.
a lot to do, right?
That's what
Like,
I mean. I mean, yes,
So,
it
it's
is
very, very
technologically
frustrating.
possible, but it's, when it comes to logistics, it's not feasible. And I get it.
So Meta, which is Facebook, will allow you to post to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time if you have an image. So it could be possible.
Hmm.
It's a
But
good
we-
idea.
Need a liaison from the city to run the page. Yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah. It's a
Which
bummer.
they do. The city happily posts whatever is
Right.
created. It's
And it's
just,
posted under the
the-
Arts Commission, right? It's not posted under City of Estacada.
right, yes,
It's-
we
yeah,
have
the
an
Arts
Arts Commission
Commission has its
Facebook
own
page.
Right. We just can't.
But
control
there's
it.
no engagement, so it serves
Right.
as a digital bulletin board
Well, and
rather
yeah,
than a
that's the, yeah, if
conversation.
you're not commenting back at people and.
You get
know,
lost. I don't even see Arts Commission stuff anymore,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I seek it out.
Doesn't show you anything you want to see.
Right.
So,
It's,
it's, that's also a challenge that I don't know how we can get around that.
I mean, I don't know either. And I will say that a lot of people who aren't paying to run their social media are having the exact same issues, like readings that I participate in, who are, who through COVID had to do virtual readings, are also struggling to get the word out, because if they're not paying for Facebook ads, then they just don't have the engagement. Because that is how your eyeballs are the product that people are
and yeah,
buying.
Half of my newsfeed is sponsored
Right.
garbage that I
Exactly,
don't wanna
exactly.
see.
That's why it's free. That's a whole other conversation. We will talk more at our retreat about how to reach people and brainstorm some more things. And yeah, I don't know. I think about like, how do I find out about events? And honestly, I don't find out about a lot of events because I shut my Facebook down. I mean, I still get some things in email, newsletters from people, but, I don't even I don't see flyers the way I used to, when flyers were how you found out about stuff. Like, I just don't even, I don't see them. So, we made big, glossy, beautiful one-page posters for the first 4 months. And, I think Jerry was the only person who showed up at one of those. So I wasn't going to pay money to make 11 by 14 posters again to reach people who already knew it was happening. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the magic, I don't know what the trick is. I mean, I think that a lot of people don't either. So
I think people just have too many things to do.
they have too many options, and so they don't pick any. Because I'll tell you, as a former retailer, it's called opportunity costs. And so if you have 10 things you could do, picking one means you lose out on 9. If there's only 2 things you could do, it's 50-50. You're going to get something and lose something. But psychologically, if you got 10 options, you're going to lose too many options. There's too many things you can't do all of a sudden. So you're less likely to pick. This is why at grocery stores, there are not more brands. Seems like there's a lot, but there could be a lot more. But
Well,
they'll
they're
sell
all
way
owned
more.
by the same
They'll
people
sell,
anyway, so.
they'll sell way more if there's only 3 options than they will if there's 7. So anyway, yeah, there's too many things to do. There's too many emails. There's too many ads in the way of Facebook posts. There is,
I think Facebook could be remedied though, if we could have any sort of control over it, because I see all the city posts, because they can respond because they're the city. So it's just frustrating.
I don't know how to fix that.
I know, I mean, we need the rules changed is what we need.
Right.
I beg.
And I don't know how we change that. I don't know what we would need to do. I don't know if there is anything we could do, because it is technically, the commissions are an extension of the city. That's the reason why it is run through the city, right? Because this is why we can't have nice things. But maybe we could write up a proposal or something. Maybe we could propose some sort of option C and see if that would work.
I would wait until after the first of the year to make any kind of proposal. So I don't think with the current council that any proposal is going to be accepted,
I think you're right.
unfortunately.
Okay. Moving right along, we need to pick a new date for our fall retreat. First of all, show of hands. These are the two options. 4 hours on a Saturday or find 2 days in either 1 week or 2 weeks, 2 hours each, like this, basically 2 extra meetings. Who wants to do 4 hours on a Saturday?
I would much prefer that.
Okay, so 4 hours on Saturday it is. So now we gotta find a Saturday. The 29th is a terrible idea, since there's a million things going on that Saturday. I think that as far as the 15th and the 22nd goes, there were people who couldn't do both, but let's just show of hands again. Is there anybody who cannot make the 15th? So next, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Okay, 1. That's plenty.
Morning.
Well, we were saying 10 to 2, I think. Was what we had.
The time could be adjusted.
Right,
though.
we could change the time if that was the deal breaker for sure. So is there anybody that cannot make the 22nd?
I'm the problem child.
Well, Carl can't either, so that's 2 out. Okay.
But it's his fault.
I was also.
Oh, you were,
Just
sorry.
because I was gonna get my hair done with my sister.
That's fine. That's a reason. Work-life balance. You don't have to, you don't have to justify it. What about November 5th? Is there anybody who could not make November 5th happen?
Actually, my kid's birthday, but it looks like she's at her dad's. So, yeah, she's at her dad's that weekend, so I guess it
I
doesn't
would
matter.
love to attend, but I can't attend anything on Saturdays until after 6 p.m. So
I think the 5th works
Are we
for
doing
me.
it at the bar though?
I will need to like, I'll need to confirm in like a day or something though.
The 5th works for me as well.
Okay, we have the 5th, good, because I'm out on the 12th and the 19th. You should all sign up for my collage class at corporeal writing on the 12th and the 19th. Okay, well, let's tentatively say November 5th. Nicole, you're gonna double check.
Yeah, I just need to like run it by my husband, make sure I didn't, not remember something that he did.
Well, and I also have to, I'll call in during business hours and make sure with the city that there's not anything going on in here.
Right.
So, cool. And yeah, 10 to 2 still?
That's good.
That's fine.
We want a party Saturday night, Jerry, I'm sorry. And by party, I mean, sit on the couch in pajamas and watch K-dramas, so. Okay, are we doing anything to find out about a winter sale through downtown? Are we doing anything? Should I take it off the list? Is anyone talking to anybody? I have it on the agenda for the retreat to like assign people to other commissions so that we have like a liaison of our own for each commission, but do we know if they're doing anything? Has anyone heard? If they're having a winter sale? Right, like,
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna have one.
well, I know they wanted to have one last year, but it used to be something the Arts Commission put on. So, it makes better sense, in my opinion, for it to be the Downtown Commission, because they're the ones with businesses and things and can work all that stuff out, but no, it was downtown, I think.
it's in here.
Oh, in here, yeah, and so people could, people who make handicrafts that other people would want to buy as Christmas gifts, as holiday
It's called
presents.
the Winter Artisan Show.
Yeah, Winter Artisan Show. And so then, but the Downtown Commission had said, we want to do a vendor fair. And I mean, great. Do it, and we can totally help spread the word and get some artists
I
to
know
be
there's
some of
been-
your vendors.
I know there's been some turnover in the Downtown Esticated Commission, so
Maybe
I
that's
don't know
Didn't
where
they
they're
just
at.
have something on Monday where they brought in potential applicants?
Yes, they did. They just had their meeting where they took the cue from you guys and the Parks and Recs Commission and did an interview with their applicants.
Awesome.
And I think we make that decision Monday night. So I'm pretty sure that's on our agenda for Monday.
I mean, I don't want to assign anyone to be the liaison for downtown commission, but if there's anybody that wants to check in with them. I mean, I would imagine we would already be hearing about it if that was a thing that was gonna happen, because they should be
Right.
at least very soon starting to talk about it.
Yeah, because all the Sandy, for some reason I don't know how I got in some group for Sandy one and it's already going. I unfollowed it earlier today. I'm like, how did I even get in here?
This is why nobody
First
finds
week
out
of
about our
October and
events,
it's
it's because they
Christmas.
unfollow us as soon as we start. posting stuff.
Can't be so aggressive.
I'm not a
This is why we
bizarre
can't have nice
person. I
things.
don't go to bazaars. I don't know how I got joined in that.
Did you
group.
just say you're not a bizarre person? Because I
don't know,
don't put that in the
Tina.
notes, because the notes have to be factual.
Come on, Mike. Tell them I'm not bizarre.
Tina claimed to not be bizarre.
Alleged, alleged, not bizarre. Okay.
Put in favor, nay.
Okay, a couple things, because we are running out of time of other business. Deborah, I know in the past that you have updated the actual page on the city is, I mean,
I can still do that.
do you want to keep doing that? Because it's got some old stuff on it.
I can.
I think it's, I don't remember what it is that I saw on there, but I went and it wasn't chalk, maybe it was Chalkwalk. I don't know. It was something where I was like, oh yeah, we don't need to be.
On the City of Estacada's website.
On where it says like upcoming, where if you go to Arts Commission events or something like that.
Because they've got Jerry's liaison spelled wrong.
It would be great if we could spell that correctly, if you could fix that. No,
I
no,
will
Deborah's gonna do it. She has access to she has the keys to the city webpage.
Because, spelling is not always my forte, and I'm like Googling this word and I'm looking at the city. I'm like, wait, Google wrong? The city's gotta be wrong. Google's right. Sorry.
The, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, LIAI. There is now gonna be a city quarterly newsletter going out
Well, there
through
we go.
email, I think, right? It's gonna be an email list. Not just the water bill, a digital water bill equivalent.
The water. the
There's
same
already one that
content,
comes with the
but
water bill.
Email,
but email,
okay.
hold
The
on, let
water
me make
bill-
sure,
Oh, well, my water bill's email. Never mind. Sorry. Not everybody does that.
right.
You can still get the attachments though.
I know. That's what
Okay.
she was saying that.
Oh, you know what?
email,
Maybe
and
I
it's like
just
the water bill is
assumed it
email,
was
but-
digital. Well, anyway, the point
Only if you
is
choose it.
that Elena reached out about a quarterly newsletter, and the deadline for us to submit stuff to it is November 1st. We're not meeting to discuss what's upcoming until November 5th, so it's gonna be a little hard. And everything else will have occurred, except for one page. So I'll write about one page, but
We could maybe do a little call for volunteers.
oh, that's a good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna make this my one page and call for volunteers. One page in November and December,
Event team.
call for event team.
Are you guys making sure that your events are getting posted on the electronic reader board?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
yes.
I don't see that board.
I know, me neither, but
I mean, I know it's there. I just don't see it.
I don't ever have any reason to go that way except when I'm leaving this meeting.
Well, I pass it
But
twice a
yes.
day, every day.
Excellent. I mean, I know gets visibility, so, but yes, we are, I mean, I say we are, but in fact, the folks in the office are making sure that our events are getting put up there. Email Elena. Okay, okay, 10 minutes. Quarterly newsletter. Oh, yeah. So did everyone see the news about the new term dates? March instead of December. So if you thought your tour of duty was up in December, you are now wrong. It is up in March.
But I'm stepping down the end of November. Got to take a break.
Okay,
I got
duly noted.
Slammed.
No, I totally understand. You don't have to,
But the other thing is I'm gonna help at the library. We're trying to put some things together. Well, the art,
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay
Awesome.
with that. I'm finding artists to hang and stuff.
Awesome.
So I'm staying on that.
Excellent, excellent.
So I'm not jumping big ship. I just.
Okay.
need to breathe.
Well, that's good to know because we need to work on the new application, which is our third bullet point, for the commission. And then we should be able to actually use it for that seat. So besides Carl and me, what's the other seat that's opening? Is it Mike? Is it yours?
Isn't Mike's because it
Right.
was Emily's,
Okay.
so
Because it was
Temporary.
it was
Okay,
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
be up in
Okay,
December.
So you're here till March.
Unless you
and-
want to stay, of course, then you just reapply.
Yeah, then you reapply, but you're here till March at minimum.
You can
I
stay with
did
us.
drop app for the DIC too.
Cool.
Which I also think needs
Mhm.
further representation.
Yep.
So
Right on.
I would, not to say that there's any competing, whatever, but just to let you know.
So we might get dumped for DEIC. Is that what you're letting us know?
In the event you're appointed, will you drop
Stay.
art commission?
If it's like some major thing,
Can you
Not
be on
sure.
both,
I
Jerry?
feel like I don't,
You can be on both.
Okay.
right. So that would be my intention. I mean,
Okay.
would.
You'll
I
have to
think
see, of course,
I'm More
obviously. I'm
personally
just curious.
interested in this commission. I think that might be more of a.
Oh, and then they
Anchor
can fundraise
seat.
for us.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the whole conversation where they thought they were supposed to, it was a game of telephone.
I'm
Yeah,
a bad, you know what?
Truth
I
be told, I
communicate
have a very,
poorly,
I reach
so
these like walls with my like,
Right.
and I'm
I'm
done.
bad.
And I just
It
close
was-
the
They thought
computer.
that we were expecting them to fundraise for us when that was not what we were hoping would happen. Okay, so March. City emails. Oh, the city email situation. Nicole, can you summarize?
So, due to like record keeping stuff, any official business, for any of our events or anything needs to only go through the city assigned email. Currently, Chelsea is the one who has access to that, and they want one person to be in charge of that. So I asked if they
Oh,
could,
I don't know what that email is. Is somebody gonna tell me?
isn't that the one you use? Or-
No.
No, I think
No,
it's
no,
the
that's
same,
Gmail.
except for it's the city of Estacada instead of Gmail. So I think it's the same.
The same
Beginning.
first part, got it.
Okay, so
Yeah, because I
But-
would have no idea how to check that.
that would be
Um,
completely like stunting though for one person to do every email communication.
Well,
So
I mean, that's sort of how it is now. Everybody's
that's no way.
copied, but.
The three of us, like we all sent like 1,000 emails for the art,
Yeah, but you were
and music
sending
from-
them yourselves.
which we will not be allowed to do.
Right, that's the part you didn't mention. So
Yeah,
that's the thing. We can no longer
Any city
send
business.
personal
yeah.
emails. We can't send emails about any Arts Commission business from our personal emails because
Right.
they become subpoenaable. Then all of your email is subpoenaable.
They can read all your private.
They can
emails
request
if-
to,
if
they can
necessary.
request your,
They're prone
No,
to subpoena. They're,
yeah. They can be subpoenaed.
so like
So-
all the stuff we did for the art music crawl.
Can't do that anymore.
Right. And imagine if you had to do all of those emails.
Yeah, because the three of us
And
were
one
sending.
page.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right, yes.
So we asked the city if they could make an email, a city email address for each seat on the commission. That way we can all communicate.
And
but
they
it will
wouldn't be
all a
named
city email.
since the commissioners changed, so there'd have to be a different name. That's why I proposed something a little more logical, like,
Well, why can't
chair,
it be named? I
event,
mean,
because
any
when-
IT person can just change the name when we're gone and somebody else. I mean, it's not that hard.
I mean, it's not.
I
like, it's
don't
not
disagree
important
with
to
you
me.
in theory.
I mean, but I don't like, they can call
I could
me
do-
Commissioner 5, you know what I mean? I just
You
want to
can
have an email
reply to
address.
Hmm?
Did you get a reply? When you
Um,
asked if you could have-
Elena was going to ask IT. She has like some other things she needs to do, like a conference to go to.
Working
So
on
it'll
it.
be a little while till she gets back to us.
So I mean, we can still send emails until we get an actual moratorium, right?
I believe that the date was January 1st, but.
Because
it's in
how
the
do we
email.
communicate with one another if there's only one email?
January 1st, 2023.
No, this, yeah, sorry.
How would,
Yes, right
Taryn,
there.
do you know, how would that work? If we needed to send an email to one another, if there was only one email?
That's I didn't think about that.
You could create a Google document and where everybody has access to it. And assign it to the email
And
address
just
that
have
this-
it be like basically a long chat?
you just have different files for different, different things for different conversations.
But wouldn't notifications still have to go to an email or something? How
Well,
would you know?
you would just have to go in and check it because Google.
Right. That's
But
the,
the email assigned to it would have to be the city email.
right. Well, that's what I mean, in that if we need to reach one another, that Google Doc is not great because you have to know to check it that somebody might be trying to reach you.
There might be a distinction between like messages between us, because also like, can I never text you?
You can text me, but literally if we were on a group text.
Right, we
no.
can't do that, which we know.
Which,
Same with email.
with a proxy, whatever not proxy, what's the, there's a cutoff, like three of us could
Oh, quorum.
text.
Yeah.
Quorum, yeah, three
if
of us
there's
could
a
text,
quorum.
but four, once it hits four, then can't do it. But yeah, we can one-on-one text one another, but still,
So I know the DEIC has a Google Doc set up that Taylor has had it set up to where they can all communicate in that Google Doc. So it might be something to ask of.
That
Yeah.
sounds,
Parks and
I
Rec,
think
they use their personal emails to communicate as well. So I don't know between each other. I think that should be fine as long as it's not a quorum of people discussing something. I
So
would
just-
maybe double check with Elena on that, but I know Parks and Rec doesn't have individual emails from the city. So
One-on-one.
But for event planning, we still all need a city email so that we can all plan. Reach out to people, that kind of thing.
well, right, because in that case, you would be doing commission business.
Right.
And yes, putting all of the business on one person would be tough, especially when there's more than one event going on.
and
Yeah.
if I got an email from somebody that said commission number 5,
Well, that was
I'm
my
gonna
thing.
delete it. I'm not even gonna look at it.
I remember they have t-shirts, I'm fine. That's why I was suggesting chair, treasurer, secretary, events, outreach, right? Could be the email
Yeah.
names.
Oh, I
and
guess
then
there could have
people
generic
be-
names like that.
Right, and then,
But still, it's not that hard for IT to change the names.
but
if they
the
say it
issue
is-
isn't because you also have to consider all of the potential community members who then want to email tina.ruiz@cityofestacada.
That's true. It won't work anymore. Maybe later.
Right. That's the problem.
Okay.
Not IT doing it, but that we are. I still get a whole bunch of emails addressed to Jean and Emily. Because people think that that's who and it's because it's a generic email. And that's who they're reaching out to.
So that is a good point.
Okay, and so we have less than 1 minute. I will just mention that we do need to work on that application, but we will be doing that at our retreat. We're going to create a new and improved commission application and any community updates, art opportunities.
The mural's done. I finished it yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
The brown streak at the bottom is, so that baby's.
Awesome, great
3.5
work.
minutes. That was.
I mean, it looks like a lot of really good work went into it.
It was a wild ride, and it was the scaffolding, that was the whole ride. We had to take that thing apart every day and go store it away.
Do you have a name for that mural?
Pardon?
You
Is
have a
there,
name for
yeah,
that
what's
mural?
the mural's name?
Have to go look at it. It's
I know, I had it,
Live the Dream.
Yeah,
That's-
something about like Sueños, like dreams.
yeah.
Anyway, it's
Livis-
written on the bottom. of it.
Yeah,
It's over there right now. It's good. Go look at it.
all right. Can we close the meeting?
Yeah.
8 o'clock, calling
Thank
it to
you.
order. Thanks, Heidi.
Bye, Heidi.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Heidi.